What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video. Normally I try to post a video every 4 days. Well, every 3 or 4 days. This is some information I think a lot of you are interested in. You might want to find out. I did send an email to all my supporters 3 days ago, or 2 days ago rather, I should say, with this information. So if you're one of my supporters, you're already going to know what I'm talking about. But I think this is going to be of interest to a lot of people. And as always, I appreciate all my supporters. And if you want to get some of this news first, if you want to receive weekly exclusive videos, if you want a copy of my book, Live in Cambodia, then all you got to do is donate down below. I have a PayPal, a Ko-Fi, or you can join my Patreon. If you do any of those things, give me your email address. You'll be put on the list. You'll receive all my exclusive videos and all the first look updates before I make it on the public channel. So check out the links down below. I love my supporters. I really appreciate it. And we have a goal for this month of February for $350. Together we can make that happen. I appreciate it. Every donation is appreciated. I love you guys. Let's get on with the video. So if you remember, a month or so ago, Cambodia announced that they were going to give people with tourist visas an amnesty period, where if they wanted to convert that into a long-term stay visa, an E-type visa, they could do so in country and get that taken care of. This was very limited, of course. It was only meant for people who were here before December 31st, who had come here on a tourist visa and for whatever reason or another either couldn't leave to go home or were stuck in the country somehow. And Cambodia was giving them a chance to get all that taken care of. But as you know, it only lasted a couple weeks. It certainly didn't apply to everybody. But it was nice of them to do that. It was only for a limited amount of time to a limited amount of people. Well, now it applies to everybody. That's right. You can now come here on a tourist visa. And once that tourist visa expires, you can change it. You can get an E-type visa extension that will allow you to stay long-term. And you can do that in country. So basically what that means is, since there are no visas on arrival yet, and I'll talk about that in just a minute, but you can get your tourist visa electronically from, there's a website down below in my description. You can click on that. That'll take you to the site. And that will be good for 30 days. After about 3 weeks, you can go to a travel agency here if your plan is to stay long-term, and you can convert that into an E-type visa. You can get either an EB extension or an ER extension. So that will cover you if you're here to work, or if you're here for retirement. And you can do it in country. You don't have to leave and come back in. As far as I know right now, there are no restrictions on that. The only thing I would want you to be aware of course, is that even though the visa prices are the same, it's about $300 for a 1-year visa extension, there is an added charge to do it in country under this program. And that charge is between $170 and $180 on top of your normal visa fees. I know that seems a little steep, and it probably is, but it is a solution for people who want to come over here sooner rather than later until they can implement a system where they can introduce visas on arrival again. Why they haven't done that yet, a lot of people say, well, why don't they just make it happen? And there could be a couple reasons. Maybe the airports aren't set up for a big influx of people that would take advantage of that. Perhaps they don't have the personnel available to handle all those requests as they're coming in. You see Siem Reap's getting a new airport. By the end of the year, that should be 70% done, they say. And right now, the Siem Reap airport is only taking very, very limited flights in. A couple theories have popped up about when they're going to announce the visa on arrival again. One of those states, they're going to wait till after the Khmer New Year in April. And people think that because, of course, we're still under threat from the pandemic and the virus and the Omicron variant and the new variant of that variant that people are concerned about. Numbers have gone up slightly of new cases. And so the thinking goes they're going to wait till after the Khmer New Year, because that's going to be a huge celebration with a lot of people all together and in spaces and elbow to elbow, and they want to gauge if there's too much of a significant increase in the cases before they just allow anybody to come in and get a visa right upon arrival. And that kind of makes sense, because while they're committed to staying open and they're committed to taking Cambodia out of the pandemic stage into the endemic stage, and they're also committed to not having lockdowns or shutting down the country again, they're cautiously optimistic with that. And they have to take into consideration opening wide the borders for anybody, and all of a sudden being in a position where they have to go back on their word because cases rise to where they were last year in the hundreds every day, and locking down different districts and things like that, and they don't want to do that. So that's the one thought. So they're going to wait till after Khmer New Year so they can make that determination. Other people say they think they're going to make that announcement about visas on arrival again before the Khmer New Year, and these people think that because it would be a way to get a lot more tourists back into the country by allowing them to just come in right at the border. And they want this to be, since it's the first one in 3 years, you know, this will be the third year. Last 2 years they have not had it. They want to be sure it's successful as possible, as financially successful as possible. The country's counting on it. A lot of vendors are counting on it. And so some people are saying they should bring back visas on arrival before then so people can come and enjoy it. And again, that one makes sense. Now, both of these are just rumors. There's been no indication from the government on when they're going to implement visas on arrival again, just to be clear. And that brings me to my other point. How long is this going to last where you can convert a tourist visa into a long-term stay visa in country when you arrive? And that's something nobody knows 100% for sure. It's one of those government things where they started it without any big fanfare, and they could end it without any notification. However, most people, myself included, believe this is going to be a placeholder until whatever time they decide to announce and come up with a plan for allowing visas on arrival again. So what I'm saying is, I don't believe this is going to last just a couple weeks. I think this is going to be at least a few months. So people that wanted to come over here to work, retire, now there's that leaves that avenue open for you to do so without having to wait or go through other channels to get that done. You also don't have to worry about getting a letter of recommendation from a company here if you want an E-type visa, excuse me, or anything like that. Of course, all that could change. And like I said, if you're a supporter of mine, as soon as I get any new information, if they're going to put any other restrictions and things like that, I'll be sending you an email, keeping you updated on this latest development. But I think it's good news for the country. I think it's good news for people that want to come over here sooner than later. And yeah, it's going to cost you an extra $170 to $180 on top of your visa fee. However, if you consider the cost of letting the tourist visa run up and having to fly out of the country or leave the country somehow, perhaps go to a country where you need to stay in quarantine before you can before you can come in, get another PCR test, get all that validated, and then come back into Cambodia again. It's really not, it's much less expensive than doing it that way. And it is a way for, you know, the government to make some money while they decide what they're going to do with the visas on arrival. So I think it's a good plan. Like I said, it might be a little pricey, but it gives people that opportunity. And that's pretty important. And like I said, most people expect this to last until they announce visas on arrival. We should go back to the previous way we did things before the pandemic, where you get to choose which visa you want once you arrive at the airports here. So that's the latest information on that. And I just wanted to get that information out to you guys. I'll let you know that, yes, it's possible. I get questions almost every day. Email, messenger, sometimes even in the comments. Are we allowed to convert our visas yet? Are we allowed to convert our visas yet? And I've always had to say, no, not yet. But now I finally get to say, yes, yes you can. Another caveat, another thing I want you guys to be aware of, is that I've said this before, I think it's a fairly known thing that Forte health insurance is not mandatory any longer. It hasn't been for a few months. However, there are reports that depending on who the person is that's processing you upon your arrival, some people are saying they were never asked about it or never asked for proof, but others are saying they didn't buy it and they were asked to show proof, and if not, they had to buy and purchase the insurance right then and show it to the gatekeepers there. So it's always best to check and verify with whoever it is you're talking to that you absolutely do not need this insurance. It's not required. Like I said, some people bought it and then figured it was a waste of money when they were never asked for it because they were under the assumption it was mandatory. It was not. And different airports you go through on the way here might require different forms of things. So again, I want to reiterate that when it comes time for things like your PCR tests, things like that, always bring the original. They are going to want to see the original. So be sure to bring copies in case they want to keep it for their record. I just wanted to let you know. Save you some time, save you some hassle. And here we got some sweet treats. I do love these sweet cakes here. These things are good. Thing Lai doing what she does best. Checking the chicken and then being indignant if she can't find what she wants. But that's probably kept me alive. I would just come in and grab the first one I see, and I don't know what I'm looking for. Alright. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you guys for watching. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you have not. And be sure to share it if you want to. Don't forget to check out all my links down below. Other channels that are vlogging in this part of the world. They're all listed down below. All my social media accounts and my blogs and Facebook pages. All that stuff is is all listed down below. Like I said, if you want to be part of the family, help support the channel, our goal is $350. And if you do that through any of the links below, I will send you a copy of my book, Live in Cambodia. And you will also be on the list to receive my weekly exclusive videos and, of course, updates on any new policies as they become available to me. As my way of saying thank you for your generosity. All right. From Sa Tamaki in Siem Reap, I will talk to you guys in the next one.